Hello guys, let's start. Thank you for coming to the session. Uh, we will wait for some more minutes. We will starting the session. Call your friends and everyone and your friends who will join the session. I will be sharing my screen shortly. Okay. So, uh, I think we should start the session. Okay. Chat, please responded. Hello. Am I audible or not? Please let me know in the chat.
Yes, as you are audible.
Okay. Okay. So I think we should start. Okay. Should we? Okay, I will be sharing my screen. Okay, mm, just a second. I'm getting some issues. Okay, uh, is my screen visible to everyone? So, without any further delays, I think we should start. Okay, so first of all, welcome everyone to this session. This is a session conducted by GDSC and IT Orkila and Open Code. And I am Haskumar Verma, a chemical engineering student second year, and I will be taking this session with my partners Dhojinandan Swen and Amitasu Barpanda. So basically, in this session, we are going to take an overview of about Hacktoberfest and what is open source. So, before starting, let me tell you what are we going to cover in this session. Basically, we will be covering what is Git and GitHub, what is open source, and we will also be taking a smaller a look at what is Hacktoberfest. As well as in this session, we will also getting a hands-on experience on how to work on GitHub, and we have made a small project for you to contribute on it. Uh, we will get into further details later on. First of all, let's start with the intro of the session. Okay, so do you follow me? So first of all, let us start with what is open source, because open source, like you can take it as a open contribution or working in a open environment, like make contribution to projects, and maybe it can be your own projects or it can be a enterprise one. For example, for example, you can take VLC Media Player or Linux. They are big open source projects. I think you might have heard about them. So this arises a question: what is open source? So if we go by a definition, denoting software for which original source code is made freely available and may be redistributed or modified. So what does this means? So basically, you can tell it like the open source generally, it is how can I explain in layman terms? It is like a open canvas where you can go and do something that you think may be productive to that thing, and the people who are in charge of it may or may not like it, or give you credit for that. So why we should do open source? uh, okay, we will do that. uh, So I was saying, what why we should open source. So first of all, you can take it is a great way to learn. Like even if you are like a beginner and might not have much experience, you can go and see the people code. You may be feeling alone in your environment, but open source let you meet to the new people and let you get more experience. See, like in this field, in coding in general, you can only get expertise by doing work, and open source is a great way to do that. It also develops a collaborative environment, how you can work with teams, and how you can also work alone. It also makes you confident in yourself, and as well as make you a good team worker. Remember, yeah. So another thing about open source is that it is really innovative. You see, lots and lots of people come here and give their ideas, their thoughts. If I'm making a website and I want a nav bar, and if I people may come and give their suggestion, different ideas on how it will be, how they can improve it, and how they will do something about it. Just like that. Yeah, it's like a brainstorm session where people you tell them what they can do for you, and it's up to you if you want them or to work on it or not. As simple as that. So if you move, so yeah, also there are other features, like it's also a great way to build your career if you don't know about it. For example, first one, you each person gets their own transfer. Like there's nothing like you can steal their work, like जैसे हम बोलते हैं कि like उसने मेरा काम किया, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता. Basically you take full credibility of all the things you do, whether it is a bad thing or good. It will be all up to you, and you and only you will be responsible for that change. And also you can also it also has in working teams, like mostly if you take GitHub and this kind of thing used extensively in enterprises to, so they collaborate on their work. They can get make versions of their application, etc, etc. And like it's a complete community driven thing. Like people of the community are the ones responsible for driving this open source project, not not a community or something. People who work here, people, they make their rules, they follow their guidelines, and they ensure that open source keeps a healthy environment for beginners as well as for the experts who are working in the field. So if I talk more about open source, there are some projects like Linux, Android, VLC, where VS Code. I think most of the people must be who are into code must be using VS Code to edit your code and work, etc. etc. You have MySQL, Python are all open source projects. These are like made by individuals, which later on helped by backed by many people who contributed in it, added features in it, did a lot of reworking and reforming period. So they get these products. Like these are totally open source. People made this and people are using it. There's nothing to claim by an enterprise or company about that. So on contents of that, what if you want to start open source? So there are many ways you can use GitHub for good for TSU to get into it. But there's something really nice going on this month. It is called Hacktoberfest. It's a month-long event conducted by Digital Ocean every year. It happens every year, and it's happening so this year also. But yeah, you can contribute in it. So basically, what happens here is you register for the Hacktoberfest and you make contribution. You raise PRs. You may be finding a good open source project and you think that you can solve this issue or you can add this feature. You get assigned to it and you make contribution to it. You raise your PR, and if it gets accepted, you get recognition from them. Like if you don't know, if you are able to merge 4 PRs in a span of 1 month, you get prizes from the Hacktoberfest and Digital Ocean for that, and yeah, etc. etc. You can say. So yeah, it is a good way to start your open source journey if you are not into it, and you have no idea how to get into it. It's a good way. So just like that, this is something like you. We will talk more about it later on, but for now, I think this is all you need to know. Does anyone want to know more about it? Let me know in the chat. I guess no. I think this means does open source help us grow? Yeah, it does help us grow. You may ask how it will go. Like you are like working on a new on your own contributions. Like think about, you are making your own ideas. You are thinking, you are brainstorming your own up to your own skill and how much you can do about it with your own skill. Like just I said, like you are witnessing a problem or issue, and you are thinking about how much skill you have currently, and how can you use those skills that you currently have to solve that issue. So that helps you grow. And you use how much resources you have currently and how to and use them to solve that issue or not. Any other questions? So if not, I think let's move to the another section where we will discussing Git and GitHub. It's a Git and GitHub is a really important if you really want to start an open source and get into a community of developers or want to contribute to community. So this part will be taken by my partner Jyotin Nandan Swen, who will be taking charge of Git and GitHub. I will see you people shortly.
So thank you, Hers, for giving us a brief introduction about open source and Hacktoberfest. I want to confirm, is my screen visible and my audio audible to all of you? Is my screen visible to all of you? Anyone can unmute and say it. So yes, it's audible. So let's get started into the technical stuff. So for most of the session, we will be dealing and working with Git and GitHub. Before that, we have to know what is those two things. So let's get started with Git. As you can see here, Git is a version control system that takes snapshot of your project, tracking changes like a super detailed undo button for code, allowing you to revisit any previous version. So what it basically means is that Git is a piece of system, or you can treat Git as a piece of software that is used by developers to take snapshots of their project at moments of time, so that creating various snapshots at various stages of the project will help them to track the changes of the project and maintain different versions and work according to it. So basically what snapshot it here refers to is that snapshot here refers to how the files of your project working directory or the folder looks at that particular moment of time when the snapshot was created. So basically, the Git is used for creating snapshot for your project. And now let's talk about GitHub. GitHub is an online platform for developers to store, share, and collaborate on code using version control or by using Git, making teamwork on projects easier and more organized. So, what basically you can treat GitHub is as GitHub is an social media platform for developers where developers can share their code, collaborate with others, like post their issues, resolve other code issues, and many more. So, this was a basic introduction about Git and GitHub. Let's get started. So, what are the key concepts about Git that we'll be covering in this session? First, about repository, committing, branching, merging, cloning, pushing, pulling, and rest of that. We will see and learn these concepts with an hands-on tutorial. So now I will be sharing my other screen. So first of all, to work with GitHub and Git, you have to make sure that you have installed Git on your software. You can visit this website where you can install Git for your respective operating system. You have your options here. I will send the link in the comment section. And the basic installation of Git is very easy actually. What you have to do, if majority, I am hoping that you will be using Windows. In Windows, you will get many tutorials regarding installation of Git. All you have to do is clicking on the next button like you install any other Windows application. Once you have set or installed Git on your system, you have to set up or configure Git for accessing your GitHub. How you can do it? There is a very nice info like tutorial provided by GitHub itself. How you can. The two most important things that you have to do is like setting your username for Git when you will be using it. what username it will be used for tracking your projects, and like that, what will be the email ID that it will be using for tracking your projects. You have to provide these two. So I will also be sharing this link in the comment section. The first link might have failed. Let me share another time. So here are the two links you can refer for installing and setting up your Git on your system. So now let's move towards the main. So I want all of you to first make an account on your GitHub. It's a very simple thing to do. Just go to GitHub, give your email ID, username. It will just like any other setting up your account in any other application. After setting up an account, you will get an interface like this. This is the main interface of the GitHub. Upon interfacing, on the top right hand corner, you will see your profile icon. Go to your profile. So after making your profile, you will like get an profile like this. You might not get a profile like this. You have to custom it. After that, go to the repository section. So now let's talk about repository. The first thing that we saw in the GitHub concepts. So what is a repository? Repository is basically the project folder that you are currently working, or the folder that holds your project, all the files related to project and all the history of the snapshot of that project. So Git, like repository is basically the project folder. And in this tutorial, we will be using two terms, remote repository, local repository. Remote repository means the folder that is hosted on GitHub or that you can find on GitHub. And local repository means the repository or the working folder that you have on your local system or your laptop or your desktop or your system. So we will first make our first repository on GitHub. That's a very simple installation. You can see here a plus mark. On clicking on that, you will get many options. You have to click on the first option, new repository. After that, you have to ignore all this. You have to give a repository name. I will give my first repo. You can give your name as per your use. For the convenience, I am using this as. Leave the description. Make sure you have public. Here are two settings. Setting the repository to public, that means that your repository can be viewed by other people. But setting it to private means you are the sole owner of this repository. No one can view this. And as this session is an open source, we will be setting it to public and add a README file. We will be talking about this later and scroll down below, create repository. It will take some time to create repository. So now as you can see, my repository has been created on my GitHub. On here, you can see my username and my repository name, my first. So this is a remote repo as it is currently on my GitHub account, not in my local system. We will be referring this as the remote repo. And here is the README file. It is basically a README file, and for simplicity, you can take it as a designer text file where you can add headings, paragraphs, underlines, many more things that you can't add in text file for the visualization purpose. So the first thing that we have to do is to bring this remote repository to our local repository, which means how can we bring this to our local system? It's a very easy. That's what we call as cloning. Cloning here refers to the process of bringing remote repository to the local system. Here you will get an option on the blue. Click on that. You will get an heading of clone. Under that, HTTPS will be by default selected. Just copy the URL. After you have copied the URL, I will suggest you follow the steps that I am showing you. Make a folder name as GitHub. It may be wherever, in documents, in desktop, wherever you may like. Get into GitHub. Make a session, make an folder name as GitHub Concepts. folder of your choice. I would like to create it HF session 1 folder, empty folder and terminal. After clicking on the option open in terminal, what it basically does is that opening up your terminal or bash or whatever your operating system uses to that to the location of that specific folder. For example, as we have navigated through GitHub here, then HF session. In this, you can see we are currently in HF session 1, which is inside GitHub. After that, you have to bring your remote repository to inside this HF session folder. How you can do that? So it's a very simple command. Type git clone, paste the link that you just copied. The clone git clone command is used to clone the remote repository to your local repository, local system. After entering the command and press enter, you can see cloning into my first tree. Now you can see what are the folders that have been created in HFSystem. As you can see here, my first repo has been created. So congratulations, we have successfully cloned the remote repo into our local system. Now we have to get into the local repository. I will be using the terminal. You guys can do it manually. The basic steps for terminal is cd, which is change directory, then function my first repo. Sorry for the mistake. So cd means changing my directory into the my first repo as we had the name my first repo. Click on enter. Now you can see currently I am in my first repo folder. We can list the things that are inside my first repo. Just type the command ls. As you can see, readme. We already saw here we had the readme.md file. It's showing here. So everything is going all right. So now let's talk about the main commands. First, I will be covering the concept of branch. As you can see here, there is a thing written known as Git Main. What is basically Git Main? So main is here basically the name of the branch you are currently in. Now you may wonder, what is branch? Branch is a version of your repository or the local or the remote repo you have. That and branches can be either on local repo or remote repo. There is no such restrictions. To check which branch you are currently in, type the command git branch. Enter it. As you can see, as of now, we have only single branch main. So what branch helps us to do? So branch helps us to create and work on multiple different versions of our project. Let us take an example. There is a project A. You want to implement a new feature and to test it out on without hampering the actual code base. So how you will do it? You will create a copy of the main project folder and do the changes and test on that project folder on that copy. And if it works successfully, you will integrate or you will merge that changes into the actual code base. So as of now, here is the we only have the main branch. Now, how do we create other branches? There are multiple commands, but we will be using the most convenient and the most easy one. Git checkout -b, and we'll give a branch name. I will be given feature one. Feature one is my branch name. Now let's click enter. As you can see, switch to new branch feature one. And now here, instead of main, it's getting displayed feature one. Type the git branch command. See, as you can see, we are currently on feature branch. So let's understand the command here, git checkout -b. So here checkout and -b, what basically does is makes a new branch for you under the name you have provided here and direct and automatically switches to that new branch. So saving you some steps, this command can help you to make a new branch and immediately shift to. After making a new branch, we have to do our changes that for the project we are intended for. We can open our code editor. You guys also can do that thing in normal text editor. That will work very well. enlarge it. As you can see, we have that readme.md with my first repo written in it. As you can see here, my first repo. The format may be a little different as this is the output of the readme file. Ah, now you can see the similarity. Here is the preview of that readme file, my first repo. It looks similar to my remote repo. So what I have to do is I have to add my name to this readme.md. This is the change I am doing. My name is Dhruti Nandan. So so now we'll go. Now we'll save that. So as you can see, the changes. I have added my name. So currently I'm in my feature one branch. I have did my changes. Now I want to see what are the changes that I did in my current branch. It's a very easy command. Git status. As the command you can see, it provides us the status of the current working branch. Press enter. As you can see, modified readme.md. So as truly, we added our name, which was not there before. So it says modify. So we have to, as I said earlier, Git helps us in creating snapshots. What are snapshots? Snapshots are basically the it's the step where like in how your code of your project looks at various moments of time. So now I want to create a snapshot for my change. I want my change to be stored in the history of Git. So how we will do that? That is a simple procedure to follow. First, we will use the command git add dot enter. Now we will see git status. Now you can see before it was in red color. Now it is in green color. So and here you can see changes not staged for commit, changes to be committed. So now let's understand everything one by one. Git add dot. So when basically Git creates snapshot of your working directory of your project, you have to prepare your project directory for getting or creating that snapshot. It's like dressing up yourselves and making the picture frame, making the background before you take a photo of yourselves. So this command git add dot is basically what it does. It stages or means it prepares which files and folders you want to add to the snapshot or the history that you are creating at that particular point in your project directory. And there are various types of git add notations like git add. You can directly add. If you want to individually add a file name, you can add readme.md instead of dot. Here, what dot basically does that every file or folder that you have done changes will add to the staging area. Like preparing the repository or the working directory for the commit or for taking the snapshot is known as staging. And git add command helps in that, doing the staging part. If you want to add individual files, you can you directly write the files name. Or most of the time we prefer add dot. That basically adds all the files that you have changed to the staging area. So now we have to create the snapshot, the actual thing that Git description was based on. How do you create that? Let's see. Git commit minus m here. We'll be adding a message to that snapshot. Let me add fit add my name. So let's press enter here. Feature one, fit add my name. File only one file change, three insertions as you can see here, empty space and empty line, two empty lines, and one my actual name. So let's understand this command. Git commit minus. Git commit command is used for taking that snapshot of your project directory. And minus m is that when you create a snapshot of your project directory, you have to attach a message to that snapshot. like explaining or giving a brief description about what are the changes that you did to the project. And you can also use the command git commit and the message like git commit and hyphen a. But I would not recommend you to do that as a beginners, because the problem in this command is that without using the flag hyphen m, the git commit command will open a Vim editor, an editor that comes installed by default by the Git installation in your operating system. And you have to type in your command and exit and while saving it. That will be a bit hectic. So I will not refer you that. I would refer you to stick to this command git commit hyphen m your message for the snapshot. Now we will see about the git status. See, nothing to commit, working quickly. We have successfully created the branch. We have successfully staged the changes. We have successfully created the snapshot or committed the changes. But the thing is that we are on feature one branch. Let's see an interesting thing. Control Z. As you can see, git branch. As you can see, we are on feature one branch. Now I want to change and to or switch to my main branch. How can we do that? Very simple command. Git. There are multiple commands, but I will suggest you to use the ones I'm using. Git checkout branch. As you can see, switch to branch main. Your branch is now up to date with origin. We will learn about this later on. As you can see, as we are in the branch main of the project folder, you can't see my name here. Why is that so? Because the feature or the name I was wording or I was adding on to was the other branch, feature one branch, where I want to test it. If I would not have committed my changes to feature one branch, my changes would still be visible here. But as I have created a snapshot in a different version or a copy of my actual repository or the working directory, it isn't reflected in the main branch. So we will switch back to the feature one branch. As you can see, the changes appeared here. So as you can see, in my local system, I have two branches. A main and feature one. As you can see, my feature one branch has been added to the remote repository. Click on the feature one branch. You can see your branches from this drop down. One branch you can see is written here, main. So how do I like bring my local branch to the remote repository? There is a very simple command: git push origin feature one. Enter username for Git and GitHub. Swine Rupi. Search for swine Rupi at the gmail.com. Let me see a thing here. Let's quit git push minus u origin feature one. See, as you can see, let's go to the remote repo. Refresh the branch. Now you can see here two branches are here. Let's drop down. Now you can see my feature one branch has been added to the remote repository. Click on the feature one branch. Now you can see my changes. My changes on the feature one are being reflected. Let's switch back to the main branch. You don't see that changes in my main branch because my actual code base or the actual project repository doesn't have that feature that I am currently working on my feature branch. So how can we bring the changes of feature one to main branch? As you can see an option here, feature one had recent pushes 48 seconds ago. Compare and pull request. Let's click on that option. With admin name. As you can see, let's see here. These branches are automatically merged because there are no such merge conflicts or and I'm currently working on my repository, not others. Come as you can see the arrow direction. Feature one changes are going to be merged in main branch by the using the help with the help of pull request. You have to whenever you are using or raising a pull request, we will learn about pull request in a while. You have to give a title, add my name, and you can also give a description. Added my name to the readme.md file. So, what is a pull request? We have to go back to the slide. PR, pull request and for PR. What is it? Submit proposed code changes. So, what you are basically doing is that submitting your or proposing your code changes that you did in the branch feature one to the main branch. So now I will create pull request. Yes. See, and now as I am the original owner of my first repo, you will get a screen like that. Merge pull request. So what is basically the option does is that like the changes that you did in feature one will now merge into the main branch or the main version of your project. Pull request. Yeah, as you can see in the repository, you will have various sections here. Under pull request, you will have add my name. Clicking on that was opened by me itself. Now I will merge pull request. Confirm merge. Yes. Pull request successfully merged and closed. Let's get back to the my repo. As you can see, I am currently on branch main, and the changes that I did in the feature one branch is currently being seen. So, and let's get back to the feature one branch, and these are the same. Now, as I have merged the changes, the both the technically both the branches will show the same thing. So as far of now, we have covered most of the important things that you need to know for getting started into open source. I want to, so there are, let's get back into the slide. Let's cover two few more things. Forking. What does forking means? As you saw below, here on the code section on my repository, I cloned, here is an option clone. I cloned the repository, means brought this remote repository to my local system using this URL and the command git clone and this URL. So what it did was downloaded this repository to my local system. But here's what forking. Create a copy of a repository. So let's understand by this an example. So I'm thinking I will get into this. I will choose any random open source project. Let it be this one. You will see an option your fork. As you can see on the item that is shown below, fork your own copy or ChatDB. Like what forking does is basically, forking helps you create a copy of a repository that is not owned by you to your account, which will be owned by you. And you can do your changes to that repository. And after that, you can submit a PR or a pull request from your repository and the branch you are currently working on to the actual repository that you forked from. Let's create a fork, uh, forking ChatDB. As you can see, we have currently successfully forked the repository. You can also see swinethruti/ChatDB. Currently, this is a copy of that actual repository or the remote repository on my account. As you can see here also, forked from the actual repository link. So here is it. So this is the way how you can copy others other repository to your branch and do your and suggest your changes to that. And let's see about issue. What are GitHub issues? Let me open and here the issue tab. As you can see in the issue tab, there are multiple things you can see here. Like for example, let us open and some random issue. So what basically issue is, issues are helpful in reporting bugs or proposing new features or changes to your project. That might be some other projects or repositories. So what you can do is, how can you raise an issue? Here, click on a new issue, add a title, add a proper description for your issue. Like if it's a bug, explain the bug. If you want to propose a feature, explain the proposal, and you will get an option for submit new issue. I will not be doing that here. You can guys try on your own. So as of now, we have basically covered all the major or important things that we have to learn or know to get started with open source. Also, now it's the time for hands-on contribution. We have made a small project, First Commit. The name of the project is First Commit. Those who are getting started with open source and want to make their first contribution in the GitHub, this is a very good example. There are other repos you can also find. We will be sending those links in the group later on or after the completion of this tutorial. Here is the deployed link you can get. Click on the deployed link. It's taking some time to load. So the time it loads, let me go through it. It is a repository where you guys will add your account, your GitHub user account to the site or the website. It's taking some time. Now it's load. So this is the base UI of the project First Commit. As you can see, there are two currently cards, or you can say user accounts or profiles that have been added to this website. Rutin Anand Swine, that's my account, and that's Amit Baste, that's a friend of mine. Then clicking on Rutin Anand Swine will open up my GitHub profile. So this project is basically what you have to add or change the code such that your card will be visible here, where you will be having your name, your GitHub username, and a small description or a designation. For me, it's full stack developer and DevOps, open source enthusiast, anything it may be. I will be suggesting you the beginners can write here, open source enthusiast or a beginner open source contributor. So what basically you have to do this in project that first you have to fork this repo. I will not be getting that option because I am the owner of this repository. After forking that repository, you have to use the git clone command to clone this repository to your account and make a specific branch for doing your changes. Go into the SRC folder. You will be finding a config folder here. User data.ts. You don't have to worry about all these files at folder. This is the main file you have to work in. First commit folder, then src folder, config folder, user.data.ts file. In this file, you can see export constant profiles. You can see two profiles had been added. You have to add your profile in the similar format of this. You have to, like for example, if I am adding a new profile, I will copy this thing, enter, paste this thing, change the ID to 3 to the respective name. Username here refers to the GitHub username. That is the username that displays upon your actual name. This is your GitHub username. You have to add your username and a small bio that of your choice. After that, You have to stage your changes, commit your changes, push your changes or the local branch and make a new remote branch. From that, raise a PR. After the raising a PR, our team will look into it and review it, and after that, we will merge your PRs. So we have basically covered all the basic concepts of Git and GitHub. And one more thing I want to explain is that, for example, I did some changes in the main branch here on the GitHub itself. I am from mining branch. I added my branch. I commit my changes. The thing is that the new changes are currently being displayed on my account, but in my local repository, the changes are not. Then how can you bring these remote changes to the local system? There is a very easy command: git pull origin. Let's first check what is the branch you are currently on. Git branch. I am on branch 1. Let's check out to main branch. Git branch main. Now we have switched to main branch. So let's first pull the changes. Git pull origin main. Now pulling the changes, here you can see all my changes are visible. So what git pull is that it brings the changes from remote repo to the local. So that was basically all. Now my friend Harsh Kumar Verma will show you how can you contribute to the my first repo project, and will give you a hands-on tutorial. So I will pass on the stage to Harsh Kumar Verma. If you guys have any questions regarding the tutorial or comments, can provide in the comment section. I will be answering them. Now I will be stopping my sharing screen, and Harsh Kumar Verma, you may continue.
Thank you for thank you. Okay, so what are we going to? We are going to contribute to the repo that Dhruti showed you. So basically, there was nothing. It will be everything that Dhruti told you, but I mean just doing it in practice for you as a other person who doesn't who want to share my code or like contribute to his project. So let's move on to it. Is my screen visible? I guess yeah. Okay, so I will be shifting here. So first of all, like everybody needs to have a GitHub account to do that. Okay. So I imagine that each one of you has set up their Git and GitHub, and unlike Jyoti, I will be doing most of the job on GitHub only. So basically, there won't be minimal of Git uses. Like you have to GitHub, but I will be mostly doing my work on GitHub. Okay. So first of all, let's go to Jyoti account to get the repo. Okay. So yeah. Uh, So yeah, this is the repository that you can commit to. Okay, I will be showing you how you can commit to this repository, and uh, also I tell you how will you merging of PRO on live. So first of all, as you can see, this main branch. So first of all, we have to fork this branch. Just like do that, we will be creating a replica of this branch on our own account. Okay, so nothing you have to do, just go here, create a new fork, and I'm naming it first commit only. So I'm creating a. So now there's a way of doing these things. So like as you can see, uh, fork has been created. How can you see like LC? It will open automatically, or if you want, uh, yeah. As you can see my account, you just go there at your repositories, and you will see this first commit. Nothing more to do. Just go there and see. This is so now you can see we don't work on Dhruti's repo. Like, we don't fork it and do work on it. We don't have authority for that. What we do, we'll create a fork and work work on the fork we are made, and then we will reach PR through this. So basically, uh, this is what we are going to do. I hope you understand it. Am I clear or not? Let me know in chat. Okay, then let's just start cloning it. So first of all, let me create a folder for this. Let's say, let's name it first commit only. So now we have created a folder. Okay. So so there are many ways for to clone this. So you can do it by terminal, or you can do it through VS Code only. If you are using VS Code, you can. Sorry. Uh, so let me go to that repo. Now I am inside this. I'm inside a folder that I've created for this for this small contribution project that we are going to make. So first of all, you can always clone through your terminal. Then there are also options in VS Code to clone through the clone Git repositories, or and you can also link your source control Git to the VS Code inbuilt features. There are many features that will help you to contribute in this open source. I will really recommend you to connect your GitHub to your VS Code, and add extensions like Git map that will help you track how much you have worked, and how is progress going. So now let's move to the cloning part. So basically, what we are going to do. This is a fork. This is a fork repository I've created from the Dhuti Nandan's main branch. So I will just copy this. Then you can use this command, this clone grid repository, or you can just now this what this is a git init. Like I am initializing a git init, like so you can, so I can work started, so work in it. So basically we have to clone the repository. So you can use git clone and the link of the repository. You can do it like this, or you can just use this clone repository link and just put the URL there. It will clone. It will do the same thing, but it's just a interface that helps you to skip this part, and a more easier, friendlier way for beginners. So I will be showing you through. I will showing through a normal terminal only. I will show you how to use this later on. As you can see, it's cloning Git. Now we have cloned the repository successfully. Now let's start working on it. So basically what we do, just changing to, now I am inside a repository. As you can see, you can also see it here. First comment, everything is here from data to, yes. So first of all, that we have to download our dependencies for this thing. So just you need to have a package manager like a Node, Node package. It is used mostly, widely it is used. So you can use Node for it. Just nothing, just tap npmi and it will download all the dependencies needed for this thing to run. Till the dependencies are loading, let me tell you something about this. So what will be going to our workflow? So see, there's really important that you should keep in mind while working on the repositories. You do not work on your main branch. Remember, main branch is just for syncing to the owner's branch. Like what if like this is main branch will be your root branch, like something that you will take reference on, not work on it. So whenever we will working, we will create a separate branch for it, and we'll working on that branch and then raising PR through transfers rather than working on the main branch and making the PRs from them. So this way, what we will able to keep our code safe, and we don't have to fork our repositories many time, and it will be easier to work, and it give us a great flow. And if we create many branches like for separate things, we will be having a archive of what we have done in a single branch or not. So that won't create any confusion, like not won't create any confusion to this, and it will be safe, safer from any unexpected errors that we may have been pushed through into your main branch. And it also have to uh, reduce merge conflicts and all. I think it would have been, yeah, okay. So just nothing, the npm start, sorry, random. So as you can see, our project is set up. We can start working on it. As you can, this is the project. So what we have to do in this project? So basically, it's not like something you have to do big thing in here. Really easy, to be honest. Just go to the config file and use your data. You are seeing this. You just have to edit this. As simple as that. This will be your first contribution open source code if you have never done it. Uh, I don't know. I don't think anybody will having any problem with this, but if you have a problem, let me know in the chat. And also, I think I have told a lot of things here. So if you are not able to catch up with it, let me know now in the chat, because if I move forward, there will be many more things that may cause discrepancies. So let me know now if you don't understand anything in this. Okay, then. So let's move forward. What we are going to do, we will be creating a separate branch to work it. That's what I told you. We want to be working on the main branch. We'll be creating a separate branch to work on it. So for you can either do through terminal, just like I told, or you can do through the inbuilt Git features that you have added. If you have connected to your account, or you can, it is locally present in it. So for the time being, let's use terminal only. So let's like I want to create a new branch. So grid checkout minus b. That's the branch name. Hers. Hers is data. Okay. As simple as that. Enter. Okay, okay. I says I did some mistakes. Uh, oh, I think I now I am on the new branch that I created. Hers. See, as you can see here. See, this is the main. Okay, okay. Yeah, this is the it is a previously main. Now it is hers. So like I can get back to my main branch. Okay. Mm, okay, okay. Anyways, so let's start working on it. We did a new branch for it. So let me add my ID on it. Mm, so let's say ID number 3. Now, what you can see, I have written this. So either I can operate on I can operate through this. Sorry, through this, or I can just commit through this only. Let's go. Let me change the right place. See the first commit, I guess. Okay, 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 good. Yeah, this. We change the right tree. See, mm, okay, I don't know myself. So let's do this here. Oh, okay, I can. There's some issues here. Uh, okay. Wait a second. Uh, Working on this. Then, uh, I think there have been some issues by my side. Sorry for the inconvenience. Uh, okay. I guess I have disconnected from my main branch through this. Mm, let's do one thing. Okay. I think guys actually I created a separate repo. I just disconnected from my main my branch accidentally. I guess I use some other command. Sorry for the discrepancy. I will be doing this again. Mm, okay, then let's do this. Uh, so currently I am in the project in the clone project. Let me download dependencies. Till to download. Let me know if you have any doubts in the chat. Okay. Uh, yeah, hi Manish. So basically, what you're going to do, you are going to edit this branch, this user.ts dot user.ts. Basically, go to src in the config file. You have to edit user.ts. You don't even have to like edit any other files. Everything is pre-made and set up for the for this project. You just have to add contributors. That is what you're going to do. First of all, we will creating a new branch for it, as I said. So just go. Let's name it Hers. So we have finally successfully created a new branch. Now we will be adding ourselves on it. So okay, let's do this. Uh, okay, okay. Point number three. So as you can see, I have added my details on it. If you go there, you can see I have this is my ID. The the author is automated, so it will generate automatically. So as you can see, it added our GitHub tags. I think it's working. Yeah, it's working. It will direct you to our files if you click on it. Now that I have done this, now I have to commit it. So what we can do, so if you have connected your as I said, if you created a GitHub to your VS Code, you can do it through to the version source control built in this. I'm using this for, so let's say, let this be the name. Now we're publishing our branch. Let's do that. Which has but see it I would prefer you do it through terminal, but for the sake of like as they've already made it so that it done through terminal. I am just so you can do it through your own built-in source control in VS Code if you are using it. That's a great tool. You should be having it right now. So let's see. Now coming to this, as you can see now. See, I haven't come to main branch. I created another branch for it. If I update it, yes. There are two new branches that have been created. So let's compare and raise a PR to this account. As you can say, it's in able to merge. So there are no merge conflicts that are arising. And you can also track what changes are being made to it. So this is like a best case scenario, you can say. No merge conflicts are arising, data you are able to merge it. Now when I create a pull request, let's see. Now I it is up to Dhruti. He will review this PR, and if he find it doesn't have an issue, he will merge it to its main branch. Now when it will merge to main branch, we will see a discrepancy here. This we will see a discrepancy here because see this branch, this code that I have cloned that I get from Dhruti's account is a clone from Dhruti Nandan Swan original repo, original remote repo. But when my repo will be merged, this repo, what will happen is the Dhruti Nandan repo will get a one commit ahead of me. Like it will have a new contributor because but in my own fork repo we don't have hers. We just add it in a separate branch. It doesn't know that hers exist in this fork. So what will happen is it will fall out of sync to the main branch. Then we have to sync this fork and make and pull the changes to our repo. So I think I will be relying on Dhruti to merge this branch. Uh, Amit Ansu, can you contact Dhruti for this? Yeah, see, he merged this file. Okay, now this thing means that I am merged. My PR that I raised for this is merged. Now, if you go there, if you go to the original site, this is a Dhruti Nandan's copy. See, Swen Dhruti first commit. If I open his, sorry for the internet issue, guys. As always, you can ask your doubts in the chat. I'm yeah. See, it loaded finally. As you can see, this is the original branch which I copied, which I forked. Now it has this, which means that my PR that I raised it is merged, and now I am a contributor of this branch. As you can see, my name is the contributors. I have contributed some code in this repository, so I am a contributor. I have done some contribution to this branch. This is the original branch, and this is the one I made. Let me delete it. This is the original one. So now let me tell you something. See, you can see, as you can see, this is the this is now mine. Let me update it. You see this, two commits behind. What does this means? Like Jyoti Nandan's repo is two commits ahead of me. Like as you can see, my this one hers, this has been added to the Jyoti Nandan main branch. But in my fork repo main branch, it is not added. It is still at the previous phase of the Jyoti Nandan main branch. So what I do, I have to sync this fork. You can just do go here, sync fork and update branch. It will update it. Don't worry. Now your branch is in sync with the Dhutinandan main branch. So if you don't know what you have to do now, now one thing is that this is your remote, your fork is remote, but your locally it hasn't been updated. So you have to pull those requests from the branch. So basically, what you can do, just go to here, shift to main branch, shift to main branch, as simple as that, and just git pull. Now see, as you can see, this is the main branch, original branch which I have been working on. You see, there is not, no hers here. But when I use this command, see what happens. As you can see, hers has been added. Now I am a official contributor of this repository. Now see, there's something more thing, more I want to see. The thing which I did, it was just like I was a first contributor and I didn't saw any merge conflict because the project is really simple and it is not having any major changes in it. Also, we are just changing a data file. Uh, but like if you continue a main course, like some you are creating a component, or you are doing some kind of authentication setup, merge conflicts may arise, and there are many ways to solve the merge conflicts. First of all, you can just keep the changes incoming or outgoing changes, or if in worst case scenario you may have to you have to create a separate branch and add your changes into it. So it really differentiate on like what kind of what extent of merge conflicts are arising in your PR, and there are many strategies to tackle it. You will basically learn it through experience. Like that is the best thing, best way to learn it. As you can see, merge pull request from Dutri, hashtag 5 from Severite House, like me. Another thing that I want to tell you is so you can let's go back to Hacktoberfest. You can register on Hacktoberfest through to going to their official Hacktoberfest account. This is I'm really sharing it to the chat. Don't worry. You don't have to do anything. Just if you haven't registered, just register for here, and you will get to see a dashboard like this. See, see, I have registered for it, so you will just get a PR, and it will track your PR that you have raised, and it is tracking mine. You have to, as I said, you have to create 4 PRs to get prizes from it, and that will be it. This is how you can contribute in Hacktoberfest. You have to first create an account and log in into it. Then what you have to do, let me be clear. Go to your GitHub account, home, better. Uh, Go good first repo. You can go. Just go here. Now, here, good first repo topics. Explore. Go in explore, and there are many things that you can search. For example, see, I have topics Hacktoberfest. You can search Hacktoberfest. You can search to your search bar and just go anywhere. Like just so Hacktoberfest. At the repository are tagged. So see, you can see popular topics nowadays. Hacktoberfest is not there. It should be here, I guess. Let's search it just. See, Hacktoberfest. They are see these tags. So these are the uh, yeah, yeah. What's best? These are report that you can contribute to get your contribution marked on Hacktoberfest. These are the open source projects, minimum open source, which are being tracked by OceanGate and Hacktoberfest organizing teams. They are tracking your PRs to this, and according to this, how much you are. how what you are contributing. They will review it, and they will add to your path. Now more to this. Now like I have told you how to do this PR thing, and how to contribute in a project. But like there are many issues, like it can arise, like you can get into much conflicts, and you can get into uh, issues, many kind of issues. Like you can also yeah, you can also solve an issue on some other people repositories. I want to talking much about this. My partner Amitansu will be taking an extensive look into it, and he will be guiding you through everything, from how to solve your own issues to how to solve other people's issues, and how to get assigned to it. So I will be shifting this to Amitansu. Thanks. Thank you for your time.
So, hello everyone. I'm Amritanshu, and now we will be looking at how to resolve some issues on GitHub. I hope my screen is visible. So, everybody just write in the chat. Okay, I think it's visible. So, as you can see, this is the repository, and over here on these tabs, we have issues. So, these are two open issues, like these issues which have green circle, and you can search for, and these are different tags, so you can always search for the tags. So what we want to do is find these Hacktoberfest tags and these good first issue tag. So since I know that, I think I can solve this issue. This issue says we need to add a MIT license to the first commit repository, and there's a detailed explanation on how to do this. So what I will do is I will go to this MIT license template. First of all, actually, I should clone this fork and clone this repository. Like Harsh explained, we have to first fork this repository. Now, after forking this repository, we will go to our command line, and we will do git clone and copy the URL and git clone. Now, as you can see, this is cloned. Then we will go to change directory to we will check which, since as you can see this is our first commit. So we have changed to the first commit. Now we are in the first commit uh, folder, and then we can type code dot. This will open VS Code in this, within this folder. As it is visible, we are in this folder. Now we will go and solve this issue. Now we'll go to MIT license, and now we will copy this license. Then we will make a file here called license, and under this license we have to write this year. Year is 2024. and the copyright holder. So since the repository is owned by Dhruti Nandan, so I will write Dhruti Nandan Swine, and then I will save this. Then I have to check. Okay. So now we are in the first commit. Now we have to uh, check which branch we are in. Since we are in the main branch, now we will, since I have made the changes in the main branch of my own repository, now I want to merge this branch into the main repository of Dhruti Nandan's repository. So I will make a pull request. First, I will add this to my own repository by going git add this. This means all my uh, commit, all my changes have been staged. Now I will do git commit dash m feature slash add license. This dash m feature add license means we are adding a message that what is the name of the commit. This shows one file change, 7 insertions have been made. Now I will send a push origin, git push u origin to the main branch. This main stands for the main, which branch I am pushing it to. This is the main branch. Oh shit, sorry. Git push. As you can see, uh, the main branch is set up with origins dash main. This means my local repository is now connected with my remote repository. Now you can see my branch is one, my repository is one commit ahead of Dhrutinandan commit main, and this has a license. Now you can see my repository, which I own, has a MIT license, but Dhrutinandan's repository does not have a MIT license since there is no license file here. So now basically Dhrutinandan had an issue to add a MIT license, and I solved that issue. So what I will do now is send a pull request. So I will choose contribute and select open pull request. Now we'll open a pull request and I will add the title feature added license. Now I will write the description. This is the Since this was issue number one, this is the issue number one. Like you can see, there are each issue has a number, and each pull request also has a number. Since they are connected, so I can connect issue number one to my pull request. When I type hashtag one, like you can see, this this is pull request number 5, issue number 2, pull request number 4, pull request number issue number 1, and pull request number 3. So what I will do is connect it to issue number 1, and then I will create a pull request. So now as you can see, I want to merge one commit from my main branch to Dhrutinandan's main branch. Files changed is 1, commits is 1. So now I have to wait for Dhruti to accept this pull request. So all checks have been passed, and this branch has no conflicts with the base. So I just have to wait. As you can see, this pull request also has a number 6. So I would request Jyoti Nandan to accept this pull request. And when that pull request is merged, you will be able to see MIT license around here. I think since the pull request is closed, I'm assuming, as you can see, Dhutin Swai merged this into the main. Now, since that pull request is merged, you can see this license within the repository, and this repository also has MIT license. And that is how you contribute in open source. Now we will learn how to find open source projects to contribute for Hacktoberfest. One of the easiest way is to uh, go to GitHub and search for Hacktoberfest. This will provide you with various projects on which you can contribute. You can select your tech stack. Suppose language, I want to select HTML. Now you can see various projects you can contribute to. You can select your desired project and contribute. Just have to fork the repository, clone it, and follow the steps we explained. Another way to find it is through Discord. There is a Discord channel to contribute in Hacktoberfest. You can find various projects, like you can go to the project sharing channel, and then also you can select your, suppose I know Java, suppose, so I can select my preferred Java puzzle solver game. Now I want to I will read this project. These projects have a link, so I will copy this link, and I will read this README. I will check if I know Gradle or Java, and if I know both of them, I have to go through the project and I will contribute. And uh, we will be sharing the links to the Discord channel as well as the how to find these projects. You can also go to hacktoberfest.com. There's a tab here, join Discord, or you can start hacking. There's a, you can also click on participation, and then you will be able to find a lot of good resources and how to contribute, what are the protocols you should follow, and beginners resources, contributors. You can contribute with code, you can contribute with non-code. Suppose you find a project with suppose I want to contribute in this one only. What I can do is, if I find that some links are not working, I could go through all the links, or if something is broken, I can change that as well. Okay, suppose, so you can go to this uh, invite link of Discord, and you can get to this Discord channel. Suppose I am
I
working on,
guess I guess
okay,
we should
I
conclude
think
this session. Okay, like
that's how you can find this, and that's all from my side.
so guys, we will be ending this session soon, and thank you for joining on this session. And I hope you learned a lot from this, and it was useful to you people. Okay, and I wish to see that you all contribute to Hacktoberfest and get yourself into the open source. And you please feel free to communicate on our DSC community and open content community. We are really active on that, and we will help you whenever necessary and possible. So on the closing note, thank you for joining again, and it was a pleasure to have this session with you all guys. Thank you.